Hello everyone! So this video is the introduction into E2B, and you can leave me a comment about what you think E2B actually means. Before we start with examples and with explaining how it works, you might have heard about E2B from some code interpreter examples, or you might have seen it as LangChain integration or open interpreter integration or various other projects, but actually E2B is also like invisible puzzle piece in AI data analysts, in AI workflows, or even AI tutoring tools. It's basically in a lot of products where you wouldn't even expect it. So we will just look at how it works, what does it mean to be code execution layer for apps, and what you can try with E2B. So in the LLM-powered software, E2B is just the code interpreting layer for your AI app or AI agent. What does it mean? Why is code interpreting or code execution important? So you have probably seen ChatGPT data analyst or other AI analysts, and you might notice that in general, if you give AI agents some more complex tasks, it starts hallucinating, or it cannot complete the task in one turn or even in more iterations. And that's often because it cannot execute the code, or it cannot just run processes in the background. For example, if we look at Perplexity, which is my favorite assistant, but it doesn't have the code interpreting capabilities, you can give it a data analysis task and you just see it gives you actually the code that you can run yourself, but it doesn't give you the actual result of running the code because it cannot run it. And if you compare it with, for example, the mentioned ChatGPT data analyst, it has the code execution capabilities in the background, so it can run the analysis, and it actually gives you code output, which here in this example is a chart. So instead of just talking, let's say, it's actually doing the task for you. Yeah, so the code execution also make the AI assistants more reliable. It just, if you have read Kahneman's book, Thinking Fast and Slow, it's just like giving the agents the slow thinking, because without code interpreting capabilities, it just has this fast thinking, this like intuitive answers that are not based on data or some analysis, but with code execution, it also can think slow. Let's say it like that. So that's what E2B is giving the apps. That's the puzzle piece it is. And now we will look at the docs and more details about E2B. So how is the code execution done technically? E2B is building sandboxes, and sandbox is a secure cloud environment which is isolated and prevents any risky behavior. So it isolates the code generated by the agent and runs it securely in the cloud. What is important is we don't care how you build your agent, what LLM you used, what framework you used, if you used LangChain or AutoGen or CrewAI, or just build it from scratch. We just care about what the agent or AI app decides to do, what actions it decides to take, and we just run these actions. So when the sandbox session is created, a small virtual machine in the cloud is started. It can start in 400 to 600 milliseconds, and the VM is running a Ubuntu operating system. So it's just it's like giving the AI apps or agents their own small computer, if you look at it like that. And yeah, so it's running in there. And the good thing is, when you have an app used by many people, each of the users has its own sandbox instance, so it's isolated and in separate instances. And you can just use E2B SDK in Python or JavaScript version. Now the important part, how to start with E2B. So the easiest way is probably to go to e2b.dev/docs and just sign up there and get your E2B API key. And there are also Hello World examples in TypeScript and JavaScript or Python that should help you start very easily. Or just don't forget to ask us anything. You should find our link to our Discord or Twitter. Just leave us a message if you need help with something. We try to react quickly usually, so yeah, just let us know. And I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but E2B is completely open source, including the infrastructure. And there are two SDKs. There is the core SDK and there is the code interpreter SDK. So the core SDK lets you control the sandboxes on a lower level to have, let's say, more direct control over the functionalities. And a cool thing about it is that you can also customize the sandbox that you are building. Just check out our docs, and it shows you a guide how to build a custom sandbox with pre-installed packages, which is very cool, I think. So that's the core SDK. And on top of it is built the Code Interpreter SDK, which is essentially a custom sandbox. It's built specifically for code interpreting apps or coding agents, and it starts a sandbox that has a headless Jupyter notebook inside it, and when the AI agent generates a code or some output, it's just programmatically sent to the Jupyter notebook and executed inside it. Now, how to try E2B yourself and to build something with it. So you should check our cookbook, which is also open source on GitHub, and it offers all different examples with different languages, different models and frameworks. So if you have any preference, just pick what you like and you can get inspired by it. Or also you can make a pull request if you have idea for your own project. We are happy to add your project there. So I will show, for example, this AI data analyst made with GPT-4o by OpenAI. And GPT-4o is very cool because it can actually interact with its own output. So here we will do a task of generating a chart, and then GPT-4o will just look at the output and make something more with it. And it's using the code interpreter SDK here. So yeah, here we import the packages and give the model a system prompt, the role it will have. Here we create a list of tools that the agent can use. And how you build this essentially depends on whether the particular LLM supports function calling. You should first check the documentation of the LLM you choose, because some models don't support function calling, and then you can probably instruct the model yourself to just return markdown and parse the markdown on your own. So yeah, that can be different for every model. Here we define the function to run the code. It's using the code interpreter SDK as parameter. And here we initialize the client of OpenAI. So yeah, it's using the execute Python tool that we defined at the beginning. And this function just puts everything together and defines how the model does the task. So yeah, here is the user prompt number 1 and number 2. So yeah, I will run the example to see how it works actually. Okay. Yeah, the task is to plot a chart with a high distribution of men. So yeah, here is already the second task. And we can see that the model generated 2 images as output. So this is the first result of the visualization, and then it got second task to name the distribution of the chart and show the distribution functions. So yeah, so here are the results, and yeah, it works nice, but of course this is just starting example and you can build something more complicated on top of it. Yeah, this is off topic, but I think this is just very cool, and I'm really proud of our team. I'm really proud of what guys build, because I think this is really exciting for me, to be honest. So this is an example of how AI app powered by the E2B Code Interpreter SDK can work. So this is you, this is the human user, and you give a prompt to the AI agent, and the agent generates a code or a text, and it's then sent to the sandbox to be securely executed in the cloud environment. So you can upload files there, you can download files, you can access the internet, or you can connect it to your data sources, basically a lot of things, and everything is described in the E2B docs, so check it out. And also don't forget to follow us on Twitter and join our Discord community if you need any support or just want to share feedback or share examples that you've built. I hope you like this, and if you like us, please support us on GitHub with a star. We will be very happy. So I'm happy to answer any questions you might have. Thanks for watching.